What's your best truth or dare gone wrong moment? At family and friends Christmas party, everybody was pretty tipsy, and they start playing truth or dare. My aunt dares my uncle to do a lap around the house naked. He does. She locks the doors and leaves him out there. I watched a guy eat 2 empty large pizza boxes. The entire room was quiet the whole time, until he was halfway through the second box and someone said, "Please stop this," and he growled and finished the box. It was incredibly uncomfortable. I was very sad for some reason, even though I did not have to eat the pizza boxes. Truth or dare at a friend's house after graduating high school. Everyone was drinking, and truth or dare popped up. One of the lads was particularly mad enough to pretty much do whatever we suggested, even when sober. The bottle lands on him, and someone says, "Dare you to skinny dip in the pool." Within a flash, he's out of his clothes and running towards the pool. He jumps and overshoots it by so ducking much that he goes stomach first into the diving board. Maybe he was holding in the burgers we ate, maybe the alcohol had loosened his asshole too much, or maybe it was just an unfortunate accident, but he sprayed out all of his shit when he hit it. He then fell into the pool in the area of his diarrhea shit. Friend who owns the pool yells, "What the duck?" and runs over. He picks up the pool cleaner net and starts trying to fish the shit out, but it's pure liquid, so he starts hitting the shitty friend on the head with it. Shitty friend gets out of the pool, gets a shit-eating grin, and starts walking towards us like that hallway scene from Paranormal Activity 4, shouting, "Give me a hug." We locked him outside until he passed out. The pool was ruined. It was at a girl's birthday party, super conservative religious parents. She had been talking for weeks about how she got a tattoo without her parents' knowledge on her butt, and was dared to prove it to us, her skeptical friends. She agreed by bending over the card table we were at, so everything waist down was out of view, dropping her pants, and told me to come confirm. I was standing behind this girl with her pants around her knees, bent over a table, while the other people were laughing and cheering, when her mother came downstairs and opened the door and saw this. My friends and I used to play truth or dare at the hospital. For reference, we were in our late teens. Old enough so we couldn't do this stuff at home with our parents in the next room, but not old enough to hang out at bars. So we chose the hospital parking lot, because it was a big place where people left us alone. We'd play this game in our parked car. Yes, it's all very weird, but puts the story in perspective. One cold and miserable winter night, a guy in our group was dared to exit the vehicle naked and run a single lap around the car. He was pretty crazy, so this was no big deal. The guy, let's call him Herman, stripped down and jumped out of the car, ran a lap, and then tried to open the door again. But for some reason, this triggered the car alarm, with the rest of us sitting inside. Instead of climbing back in, Herman decided to run into a little area near the main building, crouching down near one of those cages that holds the gas meters and electrical equipment. It looked like the opening scene of the Terminator. While Herman hid between the cage and some bushes, a security guard came out of nowhere and walked toward the car. By this time, the alarm had stopped. He stared at our car from a distance, saw nobody near it, and somehow didn't notice us sitting inside. Turned around and left. As soon as the guard vanished, Herman came sprinting back to the vehicle across the icy parking lot, and was spotted by someone else who began yelling. He jumped back in and we sped off. That was our last night hanging out at the hospital. All my friends got dared to play spin the bottle, so they all started a game. One of them had the beginnings of a herpes cold sore, and they all got terribly sick and came out of it with oral herpes. 7 people. Back in college, bunch of us got together and played. Much liquor was involved. One guy dared the other fart in the face of another. Well, it is not easy to fart on command, so the guy's there trying to fart. Well, after much pushing and stomach squeezing, he said, "Okay, going to fart." Bent over, pointed his ass as the other guy's face, and sharted all over his face and head. Like not a log, but a freaking sprinkler of shit. Was playing truth or dares, and got dared to lick the bear in a thigh of a girl I liked. Just as I was about to do it, she went pale and ran away to the toilet to throw up for a few minutes. I was pretty gutted until somebody pointed out that a couple of minutes before she had been dared to eat a daffodil. We thought she'd eat a couple petals or something, but she was a trooper, ate the whole head in one bite, then took lots of little bites along the stem, like nom 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 nom. 2 mouthfuls and the whole thing was gone. The next day somebody was telling their parents about it, and they informed us that daffodils are poisonous, and if she hadn't thrown up she might have had to go to hospital. Still pretty gutted I never got to lick her leg, and anything else that might have led to, but at least the prospect of that wasn't what caused the vomiting. I was 10 years old, hanging out with my brother and his friend. A random truth or dare session came about, and I thought it would be fun to join in. When it was my turn, I picked dare, and then my brother's friend told me to spray cinnamon spray on my ass. Like right at the hole. And I did, dropped pants, squatted and sprayed. I remember the moment it started to burn. To this day I tense up. I ran around the house looking like Zoidberg until the pain stopped. Just after I turned 21, I had a housewarming party and invited a bunch of people. Some I knew well, others not so much. All drinking. Up next was a guy that I was peripheral friends with, but didn't know that well, and he chose dare. The darer was a bit of a donk, and likewise dared said peripheral friend to slap me in the face with his penis. We got him back by me doing the same to the original darer, and that started a friendship that has resulted in being each other's best man and godparents to children. Best case scenario for getting a donk slap to the face I can think of honestly. We were playing truth or dare in college at a friend's apartment at a party. In the truth or dare room it was made clear that no one is in a relationship in here. The one couple was cool with it because they were swingery like that. I was dared to kiss the guy's girlfriend. It was a really good kiss, the best first kiss I ever had with a person. Usually, the first kiss is alright, and you work on it with the other person to make it better, but our lips and techniques matched up perfectly the first time, and the kiss went on way longer than it should have for a game. Anyways, she dumped him like a week later, because she said that kiss made her realize she wanted to be with other people. Got dared to run around the block naked. It wasn't New Year's Eve, but might have been close. I'm running. I took the half block option, because, well, I'm a chubby duck and therefore less running. So I do the main street portion of the run. Few honks, all is well. The backstretch runs along a park on one side, church on the other. There's a guy running from the park, and at first I think, poor little white guy running from the big black naked guy, what a ducked up evening for him. Then I glanced over at the church, and see fire in the windows and realize, oh, he's running from the fire he started, and give chase. My friend's waiting outside our apartment complex with a robe and a shot. See random stranger run by, then me in full on naked chase mode yelling call the cops and the fire department. So I gained a bit on that guy, but like a block down I realized we just called the cops and the fire department. The fire department is an alley away from us, and I'm a naked black guy running through the neighborhood. I need some clothes. Turn back and make it to my friends and a robe just in time for the cops to roll up. Fire department showed, came over a few minutes later. Fire was in Christmas tree in the park. My drunk ass saw the reflection in the church windows. Cops had also got a call about streakers, but didn't mention it till they left. Played truth or dare with my friends in high school. I was dared to go around my apartment building selling underwear. One guy opened the door and was actually genuinely interested in buying a 16-year-old girl's underwear, until his wife came out and started yelling at him. Me and my friends quickly left, but I'm pretty sure I caused a huge fight between them. Early high school, got dared to kiss the girl next to me. She recoiled in embarrassment/fear, so I lost the dare. Jokes on her. 12 years later we met in a bar and now we're in a relationship. During a drinking game of truth and dare with a bunch of friends, the shortest most timid girl of our group was dared to eat yogurt from the fattest guy's belly button in our group. After about a minute of convincing, she went for it, and immediately started puking all over the guy. Why would anyone dare someone to do this? Science. In 6th grade before English class, my friends were playing spin the pencil/truth or dare, and coming up with stuff that could be done in class. The pencil landed on a girl as she was coming into class, and they dared her to kiss me. She said she'd rather kiss the floor. She actually kissed the floor. One of the few times I was invited to a girl's birthday party, with only 2 other guys and maybe 7 girls. The girls all decided to play truth or dare / spin the bottle mashup. It also began to dawn on me that the birthday girl had a crush on me, and this was all a setup. I had no idea how to kiss, and I pulled one of the guys that I was friends with aside, and asked him to help me get out of this. He told me he'd help me out, but I'd owe him big time. We went back in and sat down. After several truths and small dares from the other girls, the birthday girl spun the bottle and it landed on me. She dared me to kiss her for 5 seconds. As we began to lean in, a horrid smell hit all our nostrils. My friend set off a stink bomb and the trash cannon forced us all to leave the room. We all laughed it off, and I decided it was late enough to leave. The girl had to throw out the trash can, but I got out of having my first kiss with a cute girl I had a crush on. TLDR, my friend set off a stink bomb because I didn't want to kiss a girl. Friend and I are home from college getting drunk. 16-year-old sister walks in with her girlfriends who want us to play truth or dare. Friend and I agree as we are already intoxicated. Not even 3 dares in, one of the girls is dared to kiss my friend. He gets up and walks out of the room exclaiming, "I will not go to jail." Senior year in high school. Was dared to kiss the girl I had a crush on. She was a very shy person to begin with, and her friends totally set the whole thing up to get us together, because she liked me a lot. Go in to kiss her, and she blushes furiously, farts loudly, and then scrambles to her feet and runs away crying. Not me, but I remember a post about someone being dared to go home, and they did. I remember this. He was at his crush's house, and she dared him to leave. A moment of silence for the poor guy. Back in college we were pre-gaming at my friend's apartment, playing truth or dare Jenga. I pulled a brick that said to do a lap around the outside of the building naked. Easy enough, but it was the middle of winter, so I slipped and fell on some ice and ended up breaking my ankle. Middle school. Buddy was dared to go into closet and kiss this girl. Long time goes by, so we check on them. He was so nervous he pissed himself, and they were trying to clean up the mess with the clothes that were hanging up. Hey, cool on the girl for not just running out and making a scene, and instead trying to help him. Young, like 11 or 12, playing truth or dare with my friends outside at my house. One friend dares me to piss in the bird bath, which was in plain sight of where my parents and neighbors could see. I do it. He thinks it's funny. Next time it comes around to him, he chooses dare. Other friend dares him to drink the water in the bird bath. That went wrong on him quick. Playing truth or dare Jenga. Pull the block saying, kiss the person on your left. I place a sweet gentle kiss on the girl to my left's cheek. She blushes. Fast forward 11 years. I am single, and she has half my shit. Some drunk guy in a bar dared me to do a shitty thing that I don't even remember. I was drunk too. I said no. He punched me in the face and went back to his drinking, leaving me on the ground. To this day I have no idea why he did that, but I remember that it was hurting a lot despite me being drunk too. In my first year at university, I ended up playing truth or dare, sat in a stranger's kitchen late one night. Things got a bit out of hand, and some naked laps around campus were run, but everything was still in good fun. When we got back to the kitchen, not everybody bothered to get fully dressed again. In particular, one person ended up leaving without putting their shorts back on. We thought this was hilarious, and we kept joking about the shorts as the night went on. At about 12 o'clock, someone was dared to try and barter the shorts for something. This was after their owner had left. In our drunken state we thought this was the funniest thing ever, and completely missed how someone could be annoyed by having their shorts given away. We ended up trading them for a large portion of chips at a kebab van. When we woke up, the shorts owner to offer them a chip. He was not pleased, and we ended up having to steal the shorts back out of the kebab van to appease him. All in all, not the worst thing to ever happen, although I don't recommend becoming a thief just because it's funny to trade shorts away for chips when you're drunk. One of my old college roommates, Let's call him A, had a huge crush on a girl who lived down the hall from us in college. One night she asks him if he would like to join their game of truth or dare and tells him to invite his friend M because her roommate has a crush on M. So he agrees and says he just needs to change and then he'll grab M and head over. Once she leaves, he starts freaking out. He's head over heels at the opportunity to maybe kiss her. He runs around our dorm room telling all of us how excited he is. Now A has always been a super weird guy. Just socially awkward to the max. So all of us are excited for him, trying to get him to play it cool. He was shaking like a chihuahua, he was so excited. Anyway, he changes, literally gives himself the finger guns and a pep talk in the mirror, and heads out to meet his destiny. The next morning we all discover A hasn't come back from her dorm yet, so naturally we're all sitting around feeling proud of him. About an hour later, he strolls in grinning from ear to ear, and wearing her clothes. He walks up to us and goes, "Guys, I kissed her." And we all high five and congratulate him. So we ask for the details, and he says it was a little fuzzy because they all got really drunk. Now this in itself was amazing, because A does not drink. Like at all. So we all give him a second round of attaboys for finally getting drunk. So he says the following sentence super casually, like it's not a big deal. "Yeah, so she dared me to make out with M for like 5 minutes, and then she'd kiss me. So obviously M and I made out, and then she gave me a peck on the cheek." What? So obviously we're all hysterically laughing at this point, and just yelling about his totally not equivalent exchange, and he gets defensive and says it doesn't matter, because he really likes her and is going to ask her out. So he goes to his bedroom to take a nap. As we all laugh about his night in the common room, we hear a knock at the door. It was the girl from down the hall. She proceeds to tell us the real story of the night, which was that she really did dare him to make out with M for 5 minutes, in exchange for a kiss, and they really did make out. She did kiss him on the cheek, and he promptly got so excited he stood up from the floor they were all sitting on, and tried to take a victory lap. Unfortunately he was much more drunk than he thought, and standing up so fast made him dizzy and nauseous. So he tried to run out of her dorm and back to our dorm, so she wouldn't see him throw up. Unfortunately our dorm room door was locked, and he couldn't remember the code to get in. So he stood in the hallway, absolutely hammered, and turned his shirt into a little bucket by holding up the end, and puked into it. Then he carried his puke shirt back into her apartment, and promptly dropped his shirt holding his curdled load onto her floor. She made him change, and sent him back the next day in her clothes, while she spent the whole night cleaning his mess. He was so drunk he doesn't remember, while she wants absolutely nothing to do with him. We all felt bad, but definitely laughed so hard we cried.